Saturday night live stream, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got Sticker Teenager here. Smile. How's it going, Sticker? Did you swim today? Guess not. I think you swam yesterday.
Nah, he swam today.
All right. How's it going out there? Me and Kevin from Kevin Records went to a record show earlier today. It was put on by Louisville Public Media, 91.9, downtown Louisville. Saw Bob Bradley there and his wife Janet. How's it going there, Bob?
So Daniel Castillo said, "How's it going, Frank?" Dan in Florida said, "Sticker Teen." Polly said, "Hello, everyone."
Hello, Polly. Hi, everybody.
And Little Beatles Corner said, "Hi, Sticker family," and everybody that's here. And T-Shirt Express said, "Good evening,
T-Shirt Express."
everybody."
Polly sent his pictures of a butcher cover he was practicing on. He was having some problems with it. Problem with those butcher covers, when they get wet, it messes up the butcher cover slick underneath the trunk slick.
Good. Yeah, he don't like the butcher.
So a couple times I had ones that had a stain at the bottom of the yesterday and today, and it was too hard to peel off on the bottom. The butcher cover would just kind of disintegrate on the bottom.
John H., I agree. John H. said, "Need a joke tonight from Sticker Teenager, please."
All right.
So you're already being called
joke.
out. Start thinking of one.
No.
T-shirt said it's brutal getting it off.
Yep. So this is the West Coast that I sold to my local friend Dave. He's gonna meet me next week to pick that up. Sold for $1,222 a West Coast. Very good plus condition, and you can see the butcher cover sneaking through right over there. Somebody tried to peek on this corner down here.
Mikey wrote "I'm," but I'm sure he was meaning to say "I'm here." Mikey Rugler.
All right, Mikey, you did make it.
Thomas Crook said, "Hello, Sticker family, and thanks for throwing in the Jerry Lewis record with the T-shirt." When you sent out the T-shirt.
Not Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
My fault. Yeah, I skipped that.
Jerry Lewis is a comedian.
Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. Just curious, Frank's audio has had a crackle in it the last 2 streams. Is it me? I didn't know that.
I don't know. We'll look into that. Thanks, Uncle Paul. There's your business card. Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse. I watched your last episode on the Monkees. Pretty cool.
And then Henry Garcia said, "Everything you have on your table, I have."
All right.
And then T-Shirt Express, "Hi, Uncle Paul." Then I was towards him. Mikey said, "I'm in a Beatles by candlelight show right now."
All right.
And then Ariana said, "Watching from Olive Garden. I'll be home tonight."
Nobody cares.
That's your joke for the day? Nobody cared?
And then Uncle Paul said, "Thanks, Frank." And John H. said, "I'm getting crackled also." So that's not good. We'll have to check the audio on that. That's not good.
You can't understand what I'm saying? I've got crackle on my voice. Sounds like a Led Zeppelin 2 with a little bit of playware. Kind of crackle and pops. Glastonbury 2025 is going on the last few days. Tomorrow's the last day. Some of the groups, Pulp made a surprise appearance. There's a rumor that Chapel Roan may do a performance tomorrow. Charlie XCX is going to be on. She's probably on right now. She's going to be on a different stage. And then on the main stage is going to be Neil Young and the Chrome Hearts. So I want to see that. John Fogerty was on earlier today. Weezer, Ham, Ray, Dochi's going to be on, I think, about the same time as Charlie XCX. And Olivia Rodriguez tomorrow. And I think Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones is going to be tomorrow. Gracie Abrams was on, I think, yesterday. And she did Just Like Heaven from The Cure. And Paul McCartney was in the audience. So Paul made his appearance at Glastonbury 2025. We're going to do a seal reveal of this yesterday and today. I got a hold of yesterday a factory seal with the number 6. Means it's a Los Angeles copy. No, it's not a butcher cover, but we're going to see if it has the original Capitol label, or the Apple label, or the late Capitol lime green label. So this has been sealed for close to 55 years or more. And I'm going to open it tonight.
So yeah, we got a couple others saying they're getting a crackle, but David Floyd says it's not that bad, but yeah, so that's interesting. If it's the internet or if it happens to be a tablet, I'll have to go back and look at the mic streams when we use the microphone and see if we got to start. If I have to hook the microphone up to this, I don't know.
Can't do anything about it now. Got these in today. Introducing Beatles version 2. You ever seen one from February 1964 in that nice a condition with none of the usual rub wear down there on Paul, below Paul's head? Really nice. Nice seams, 4 square corners. And it's even got the 45 label. When they ran out of regular album size labels, VJ just used the leftover 45 labels. Excellent condition. I would sell this for $250 FedEx shipped. Introducing the Beatles original authentic February 1964 mono. This was the first album released by the Beatles in America 2 days before Meet the Beatles. I bought this Meet the Beatles. It didn't have a number by the RIAA, and I thought it might be a chance. There might be a paste over like Mikey's got. But I peeled up the corner here today, and there was no other Capitol cover underneath, so it wasn't a paste over. It's another record in excellent condition. It's got the BMI and ASCAP on the labels. And I'd sell that for $100 shipped. Meet the Beatles, 1964 mono with the original blue Capitol inner sleeve. All right, those came in today. So you can't win every time, Mikey. I thought I had one of those. I was hoping there would be a Beach Boys cover underneath there. That would have been really valuable. We're going to do a trivia question contest in a little bit to win this Morgan Wallen CD, 2 CD box that has a large size t-shirt, I'm the Problem. Morgan Wallen. Number 1 on the album charts. You want to do the trivia questions on this right now and get it out of the way while I've got people thinking about it?
Alright, does he have his phone on you? Where's your phone?
Over there.
What, charging? Go get your phone, whoever does the question.
Alright, show a few things. Talk about a few things. This is getting almost impossible to find. A near mint Beatles Magical Mystery Tour from the 70s from Germany with the True Stereo A1B3. Everybody realizes it's the best sounding Beatles pressing. Everybody's collecting them. Nobody's selling them anymore. I went through the internet, only found 5 of them last night, and I bought the best one, the near mint condition. I had to make a deal on it. They're going to be pretty expensive here in a couple of years. And Beatles for sale, the -1 2 cut. Also, I went through the internet, and almost everybody didn't have the true -1 stereo from the late 60s, early 70s. They're getting real tough to find. Last one I sold for $150 yesterday. New old stock memorabilia like Mikey Arugula saw from the accumulator. This is a Ringo Soaky from 1966. Beautiful condition, no touch-ups on it. In the original box, like it was sold in the stores. I think they sold for 89 cents in the grocery stores in 1966. Worth a lot more than 89 cents now. Got the original cap is underneath there, and you don't want to put the liquid in there because that liquid will make the paint just, the acetic liquid is not good for these. Too old. It's like Uncle Paul, do you still have cereal in your Monkeys box that you have there in your Monkeys collection? Do you still have the original cereal in the box? Haven't sold this yet. I sold the wallet. I sold most of the things I've been showing, but I haven't sold this yet. $450 shipped, new old stock condition from Warehouse Fine, 1963 with the Beatles talc powder.
You said no cereal?
No cereal in the box, that's what I thought. This is still full of talc. The talc's not like cereal or soap liquid. It probably can last forever, the talc powder. And this is on my STICKERMANIA 2853 store. We forgot to show the that last time. That's my eBay store, STICKERMANIA 2853. If you want to get a hold of me on my YouTube channel, Mr_STICKERMANIA at yahoo.com. So this is on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store, switch plate cover. Last one on eBay sold for $200. And I'd take an offer of $150 on that yellow submarine switch plate cover, factory seal from 1968. All right, let's do the trivia questions.
Load it up.
You ready?
Give it a second.
Well, I'm just saying.
Well, tell me when you're ready.
I mean, it took you forever to get in here. We thought you'd be ready.
All right, here we go. Question 1. Sticker Teenagers question 1.
What am I supposed to ask?
No, you're just reading the messages.
What?
That
I can't.
You're going to show me when they start.
You're going to show him the messages when they start showing.
All right, question 1. Who was the host on Saturday Night Live when Morgan Wallen walked off during the goodbye segment a few months ago? Who was the host on Saturday Night Live when Morgan Wallen walked off during the goodbye segment? Question 2. What current pop star does a duet with Morgan Wallen on his new album? There's a current female pop star that does a duet on one of these songs with Morgan Wallen, and it's on the charts. Number 3, how many weeks has this 37-song album been number 1 on the Billboard charts now? How many weeks has it been number 1?
See if anybody gets it. Chill up, boy.
Quit
Uh,
doing that.
That's
man.
really getting annoying.
That's all your fault.
That's my fault.
Wait a minute,
You
let
do
me
it
look
on
this.
purpose. It's
Oh,
annoying.
I'm sorry.
No,
Uncle
sir.
Paul said
Sick.
he's out.
I'm sick.
Nobody's
You're not
answering.
sick.
Give me their
Stop.
message. I'll answer them once again.
God.
Who was the host? Question number 1. Who was the host on Saturday Night Live a couple months ago when Morgan Wallen
Daniel Castillo
walked
first.
off during the goodbye segment? Daniel, you're close. How many weeks has a 37-song album been number 1 on the Billboard charts? It's not 19. Not according to what I read today. Any other answers? Daniel, you want to try again? What pop star does Morgan do a duet with on his new album? Daniel had that right. Tate McRae. And Mikey Madison is the answer on the...
Patricia.
And 34 weeks. That is not correct. This album has not been number 1 for 34 weeks or 19 weeks.
Look at Daniel.
16. Nope. You guys are thinking too much. For an album to be number 1 for 16 weeks would have to be the album of the year. Just all I need now is one answer now. How many weeks has this been number 1 on the Billboard album charts? We're not talking about country. We're talking about the pop charts.
Look at Daniel.
You're getting awful close there, Daniel. Anybody else want to go there?
Look at Patricia.
All right, little Patricia corner. We'll give it to you. You got 6 weeks. It was 5 weeks. What I said, it might be 6 weeks now.
Brad Parnell said 5 after that, but you already gave it to Patricia.
All right, way to go, Patricia. Hope you enjoy this number 1 CD and a large size t-shirt. I'm the problem. Good job.
Appreciate everybody that played.
Brad Parnell, you came in at the last second.
John H said 5 at the last second too, but that was after you'd already gave Patricia.
All right, we got this.
Now you're done. You don't have to look on the bone.
Good job.
Now,
Thanks
can
for
you
helping
do a
out,
joke
Sticker.
for us so you can leave? If you do a joke, you can leave. Give us a joke and you can
Yeah,
walk
he
off.
might not have a joke.
Oh no.
Come up with a joke. All right, I got some
Uncle
of these.
Paul said the audio's fixed, and Patricia said, lucky guess, thanks a lot.
All right. Yep. Good job. Good job. So
And
the,
Brad said he was napping. I missed that. My fault,
so the
Brad.
answers were the host of Saturday Night Live when Morgan Wallen walked off during the goodbye segment was Mikey Madison. And there is proof, I guess, that in the rehearsal, Morgan Wallen also walked off, so that was planned. I don't know why they made such a big deal about it. And what pop star does Morgan do a duet with on his new album? It's Tate McRae. Tate McRae. She might be 20 now, the new pop dance sensation. I love the song Sports Car. And how many weeks has a 37-song album been number 1 on the Billboard charts? 5 or 6 weeks. Good job.
You got a joke for us?
Uh-huh.
All right,
All right,
tell
yeah.
it.
All
Now
right.
I want you to talk clear.
All right, it's sticker time.
You want to sit in the seat?
No, tell your joke.
No.
All right.
Tell your joke.
It's gonna be bad.
Well, come on.
It's gonna be so
Come
bad.
on.
Just tell it.
How you
Project.
deliver it?
Project.
It's not even original. Why don't skeletons fight each other?
Shit, talk.
Why
clear.
Don't skeletons fight each other?
Why do skeletons fight each other?
Because they don't have the guts.
Because they don't have the guts. That's a pretty good one.
Stop
Good job.
looking at me.
Good job. All right, you're retired for the night. Good job.
Good.
Thanks for the help.
I didn't like it here.
Thanks for the help.
Dan said he loves bad jokes, and Uncle Paul
Right.
said
Right.
if it's not Sabrina or Chapel Playhouse doesn't know popular music.
Tate McRae, you don't know sports car? What's the #1 song on Spotify today? He's by a 19-year-old, 6'4" boy, man, that's coming to Cincinnati in a few months. Sombra, Back to Friends is the #1 song played today on Spotify. All right, I got this at the Louisville Public Media Record Show today. It's a poster for the Breeders' 30th anniversary, and it's signed by all 4 members. And I had a note of who they were. I got it.
Oh, you got it.
Kim Deal, Kelly Deal, Josephine Wiggs, and Jim McPherson all signed this poster. They played at the Mercury Ballroom here in Louisville a couple years ago. The price on that is $20 if anybody's interested. The Breeders, signed by all 4 members.
Uncle Paul said Man-Child is #1 in many charts.
Yeah, Man-Child's #1 on the USA Billboard charts, but there'll be a new next Tuesday. They'll change it, and then I'm pretty sure she's #1 in England. Pink Pony Club is still #4, and Love Me Not by Raven. How do I say her name? Raven is #3. And Ordinary by Alex Warren is #2. So I got this at the Louisville Public Media Record Show today. This is a pretty rare album, rock album. Faster Pussycat came out the same year that Guns N' Roses did, and they even thanked Guns N' Roses on the back of the cover. A group from LA. They didn't make many vinyl albums in 1987. That's when CDs had taken over.
Brad said, are you going to see Revived Horton Heat at the Mercury Ballroom Wednesday?
No, I didn't know about it, but thanks for telling me about it. Reverend Horton
Heat.
I've heard of them before. So Faster Pussycat, have you ever heard of them? Same time as Guns N' Roses. We got a James Brown, 1967 in the Shrink. Ain't It Funky? King, it's out of Cincinnati, the label King Records. Excellent condition. James Brown in the Shrink. Anybody's interested in that, that'd be $30. James Brown, Ain't It Funky. It came in with those 2 Beatles albums today. All right, talked about the glass. Oh, Ringo Starr. He did a new June 2025 update, and he's going to be Ringo Starr's All-Star Band's going to be here in Louisville Saturday, September 13th at the Bourbon and Beyond. And the same day, the Pixies are going to be here, which Kim Deal was in the original Pixies before she was in the Breeders. And Jack White, the man from the White Stripes, is going to be here shredding his guitar at the Kentucky Exposition Center. So we're going to be going to that. All right, let's do the Seal to Reveal. Seal to Reveal after 58 years.
Johnny Ramone, Connie Wilson sends love and thanks for thoughts and prayers for her dad, Brian Wilson, here in Simi Valley, California.
All right. Let's all put our prayers out for Connie Wilson, who lost her dad, Brian. The Pet Sounds on a Everything But the House auction that went off tonight that was signed by Brian Wilson and Al Jardine and Mike Love, sold for $750.
Dan from Florida said he just saw Ringo in Hollywood, Florida. He was great.
All right. Ringo. How old is Ringo going to be in about another month? There's a trivia question for you. Here we go. Seal to reveal. 58 years. We're going to see. What kind of label do you
said 85.
85 is correct. What kind of label is going to be in this yesterday and today? The record store I bought this from put it through a black light. They wanted to make sure there wasn't a butcher underneath there. I knew it wasn't a butcher. It's the wrong width, and it's got a 6 on the bottom here. And if it was a butcher, it would have a number 5. But this was made out in LA.
Johnny Ramone said she signed my copy of Smile.
Oh, and here we go. It is. I already had one of these with the gold record stamp. This is a Jacksonville number 4 in the shrink. And it was a Apple pressing that was all true stereo. The early yesterday and today's didn't have true stereo on all the tracks, but when you got into 1969 and after that, they do. And here we got another. So this is from 1971, 54 years old. Unplayed. Mint copy of Yesterday and Today and all true stereo. Anybody's interested? Oh, I'm not selling that because I got a purpose for keeping that. And I imagine some of you might figure that one out, what I'm going to need this for. All right, that's our sealed reveal. This one's up on my STICKERMANIA 2853 store, the one with the gold record award. $1964, got this in today. Swan. This is an early 1964 Swan of She Loves You and I Get Around. And it's got the right matrix in there. That it's audio matrix. It says Mastering Reco Art Philadelphia in the dead wax. They do make counterfeits to this. They make counterfeits to almost anything to do with the Beatles. Price on that rare Beatles 45 is $200.
Please give a like. Much appreciated.
Found this today. A beautiful straight cut East Coast picture sleeve. And you know what album this is from, Mikey Arugula? Your favorite album. Beatles for Sale. 8 days a week, and I don't want to spoil the party. They have a different picture on each side. No ring wear. Perfect. Just a little bit of bend on that one bottom corner there. But I'd sell that for $60. That 8 days a week picture sleeve from late 1964. What concert is that picture from right there? Happened in 1964, the summer, August of 64 when they toured America. Beach Boys, Peter and Gordon. Showed this on a video short. The first 45 I ever bought. World Without Love. I just liked the song. I had no idea when I was 10 years old that John Lennon and Paul McCartney wrote it for a few years. It says Lennon and McCartney right on there. Maybe I did read it back then, but I guess it didn't register with me. And then at the Beatle Fest that me and Mikey Ruger
Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl, that is correct.
John H. said it.
John H. I've seen some of your short videos. You make some good short videos, John H. That is the Hollywood Bowl. And who was at this concert when he was 9 years old? I think it's our buddy out in L.A., Gregory Fio.
Johnny Ramone said Frank got club edition of Magic Mystery Tour, original yellow cover, ?
Club edition yellow. I think he's asked that before me. Yellow vinyl, 1977. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure that's got true stereo on the B-side. But those colored vinyls never sound quite as good as the original black vinyl, in my opinion. This is a hand-signed Peter Asher and Golden Waller sheet music for World Without Love from 1964. Peter Asher, Gordon Waller. Gordon Waller, I think, passed away about 20 years ago. And Peter Asher is going to be at the Fest for Beatle fans in August 8th to the 10th in Chicago, Hyatt Regency O'Hare. Me and Mikey Arugula will be there. Me and Mikey Arugula are going to do every little thing Beatles. Every little
thing Beatles.
Every Little Thing Beatles episode number 9 next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
Brad Parnell said whoever was at the Hollywood Bowl concert is 10 or 11 years older than him.
Yep, I'm still reaching out. This is a photo from the 1965, August 15th. 1965 at Shea Stadium. You can see it's full all the way to the top. I'm reaching out to see if anybody knows Valerie V. That I got this from her estate. Are any of you other girls out there? I would love to do an interview about you and your bunch at the Shea Stadium concert, August 15th, 1965. The first rock stadium concert of all time, right there. All right, what else we got to show?
Was you showing that?
Yeah. We got this same time I got that yesterday and today from Matt Anthony's record store down here in Louisville, Kentucky on Baxter Avenue. This is the original 1964, dated here NEMS Enterprise, 1964, London Palladium Royal Command Performance.
Okay, so to show the top, we almost have to take it hold it like this. Let me see.
No, that's too much glare from the light. So yeah, it won't matter. You can't see the top part unless you take it down there.
There you go, perfect.
Because you can't. Yeah,
Pretty nice shape. There's just a little pinhole on the corners, a little stain on the bottom. London Palladium. I would sell that for $100. Let's show that Rolling Stones poster. No, the big one there, that rollout thing. Yeah.
Oh, this.
We got this at the estate sale a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Which way? That's upside down, right?
No, that's the top. isn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's all.
Yeah. That's gonna be hard to show. This is huge. This hung in a big record store to promote the Rolling Stones 4 Flicks, the DVD box set that came out. It is huge. It was in a garage. There was a couple of them, and I said, I want that, and they took it down for me. The state of somebody here in Louisville, Kentucky. All right, roll that up.
Johnny Ramone, not colored, original cover, not German cover. I guess something about Magic Mystery Tour.
Yeah, I don't think that's a German pressing. That's probably not the true stereo mix that everybody, it's almost getting impossible to find now. because everybody realizes this is the audiophile pressing you need to have in your Beatles collection. So everybody that has one of these is holding on to them. It's like the butcher covers. They're almost impossible to find now. I have a real nice peeled West Coast Third State coming in on Tuesday. All right, showed that. Beach Boys.
Brian said those chicks must be in their 70s by now.
75 to 78 is what I'm guessing. If I was 10, I was 11 then, and these girls look to me like they are, what, 14 to 16? So they would be 4 years older than they'd all be 75. You're right, Brad. 75, 76 years old. Time marches on. Beach Boys, here's a laminated cover of 2020 from England. It's when Brian Wilson wasn't in the touring group. They do have him on the inner cover of Brian. Laminated covers. It's amazing on these laminated covers you can restore them where you can't do it on American covers. That lamination protects it when you restore and take off magic marker or ink or something, or a price sticker.
I don't know. Johnny's getting into all kinds of, I don't know, you see what he's talking about with the Magic Mystery.
Got not the German cover, it's a true stereo, but Magic Mystery was all, I don't know. The only true stereos that the people want are the 73 to 77, all the way up to about 1980, and they had to be pressed in Germany. And they got the GEM on the label, standing for Germany. GEMA.
He said Google Magic Mystery Tour Club Edition, and I have to do that I guess I can do that real quick and see.
This is the one they want right here. Or the Horzu from 73 that has a turntable up there in the corner. All right. Let It Be box set, 1970. Look at that laminated cover there with a red apple on the back. Got the original patent inner sleeve. Some of them, I think, had a black inner sleeve, and you got to have 2U in the dead wax. Pretty nice. Spin the whole wear. I see a few traces. That is 55 years old, May of 1970, and yes, it does have the book.
That's what it says.
Book, okay. I can't read all that.
I'm just saying, this is likely refers to the Magic Mystery Tour, the U.S. version released as a standard LP.
So the Canada box set that I bought, that was only released in the mostly United Kingdom and Canada and a few other countries. The USA thought it would be too expensive, but this says made in Great Britain by Garwood and Lofthouse Limited. There on the bottom. The Canada one is flat black. It's not laminated like the UK. UK is much nicer. All right, let's put that away for it. That is $1,000 on my eBay STICKERMANIA 53 store. I'm surprised I haven't sold it yet because it's better than anybody else's on eBay in condition. Revolver. Revolver, Abbey Road. These are UK pressings. This is the second pressing with the -2 with the corrected version of Tomorrow Never Knows. I played this today when I did my mini trampoline workout. The Beatles at their psychedelic best, Revolver. That and Magical Mystery Tour and Sgt. Pepper. On these Parlophone, you gotta search out, they say, sold in the UK, subject to resale, price conditions, see price list. It has to say that on the label to be original 1966 to 68 pressing. This is a mono. How you know it's a mono? It says PMC. The stereo's had a S in there.
Yeah, Johnny, just email him that because he ain't gonna look at it right now.
Abbey Road. That is the most beautiful Abbey Road laminated cover I've ever had in my lifetime. If I showed you a USA comparison, there's just no comparison of the two covers. How clear it is. And it's got the -2, -1 with a dark green label. That's the way Abbey Road was first pressed in the United Kingdom in 1969. White Album. I've talked about the White Album for a second. The White Album, this is the Holland pressing that several Polygram, Andrew Milton from Polygram Auction and a couple others from England, in a shootout this always wins. The Beatles White Album 1980 pressing from Holland. And a clue that you got the right pressing, it's got glass union instead of glass onion on the label. And it misspells while my guitar gently weeps. It's the way you want to hear the White Album. It's amazing how they mix things. They did press things different in different countries in the United States. I mean, in the world.
I got the email. He'll look at it after the stream.
Got the photos with it. And the poster made in Dutch. Did I show everything? I think I've showed most of all my new arrivals. All my Led Zeppelins have gone out. All the expensive ones. I think the Matt Anthony's record store, they know somebody that's interested in my Terre Haute CTH that has Robert Ludwig on side 1, on Led Zeppelin 2, and Lee Holka on side 2. Robert Ludwig's on side 1 and Lee Holka's on side 2, but they worked out of the same office, and Lee Holka used Robert Ludwig's mastering notes. Has a small dead wax on side 2. Told him I'd sell that to him for $300 in very good condition. The real nice Led Zeppelin 2 RLs now, if you can find any excellent near mint, they're going to be worth way over $1,000. Because most of them were played to death back there in the early 70s. Led Zeppelin 1. I sold the Led Zeppelin 1 for the first pressing from the United States. These are the first pressings from the United Kingdom. The very first one with the turquoise cover. And Daniel says he thinks this might be the best sounding pressing. I think they call that the red and plum label. Atlantic from England. Any questions here in the last 5 minutes?
Yvonne, Music Man, happy streaming.
Ivan. You're always on Rachel's Ghost. Way over in what country are you from?
Ivan.
We got an international. All right, we showed that.
Norway.
Norway, all the way from Norway. Ivan from Norway. You're a DJ, and I think you like the Beatles a little bit. All right.
Appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Everybody give a like.
Couple Beach Boys 45s I found the other day. This is for Get You Back. Wonder if that was wrote. Brian Wilson's on that one. Nope, Mike Love and Terry Melcher. Get You Back.
Brad, no, it's in Met Stadium seat. It's not Louisville.
And Fat Boys Wipe Out with the Beach Boys.
Yvonne said he's gonna watch Chapel Roan in Oslo this summer.
Yeah,
Oslo?
she's coming up in another month or so. We saw Chapel Roan in Franklin, Tennessee. Great show. She's a heck of a front woman. She puts on a hell of a show. She controls in Lollapalooza. She had 110,000 people in Chicago last year, and heck of a front person. And Jason Rojas says she's one of the best performers he's ever seen in a show. All right, be nice. Be nice. You can be nice. And Chapel Roan, the rumors is that she may be to be announced at the how did I say that? The big show, the big concert in England. What is it? I'm not coming up with a word. It's in my notes. Glastonbury 2025. Charlie XCX and Neil Young probably on at the moment. They're 5 hours later than we are. Maybe they're already done. All right. Sticker Kids, can you say goodbye?
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks a lot for Ivan from Norway of checking us out. And we'll be back next Wednesday for Every Little Thing Beatles, episode number 9 with the crazy Mikey Arugula. See you later.